So for the glenohumeral joint, we are going to have the head of the humerus moving on the glenoid surface of the scapula. And because it's a ball and socket joint, we're going to have quite a bit of range of motion there. You can see that the head of the humerus is definitely a convex surface. So that means that our rolls and glides are going to be in opposite directions. For flexion, to start off with, we start off with an anterior roll and a posterior glide. Then as we keep on moving up to our next 60 degrees of range of motion, we start getting a superior roll with an inferior glide. And then with our last 60 degrees of range of motion, we are going to start getting a posterior roll with an anterior glide. Then if we do extension, we're going to be getting a posterior roll for our first 50 degrees. And then we are going to have an anterior roll with that. And then if we start getting a lot of extension, then we're going to start getting a superior roll with an inferior glide. Some professors like to bring in a rotation because traditionally the reference point for the humerus is going to be the superior part of the greater tubercle. So with those spins with flexion, we're going to have a posterior spin because the superior portion of the tubercle is greater tubercle is moving posterior. And then for extension, we are going to have a anterior spin because the superior part of the greater tubercle is moving anteriorly. So now moving on to abduction and adduction. For abduction of moving away from the body, we're going to start getting a superior roll with an inferior glide. And then for adduction, we are going to get an inferior roll with a superior glide. For internal and external rotation, we are going to have a anterior roll for the internal rotation with a posterior glide. And then for extension or external rotation, we are going to have a posterior roll with an anterior glide.